guys, Olga here. Welcome. I am with Jessica Rose today, and she is a wellness advocate and holistic nutritionist and a writer and a woman of many incredible talents. I have been following Jessica Rose on social media. Oh boy, for probably at least 3 to 4 years, I want to say, a long, long time. And I just been loving all of her amazing content and just wanted to have a conversation with her and hear about her journey. Why did she get started on this path of wellness? And so today is a great opportunity to meet Jessica and hear her story. So, Jessica, if you don't mind sharing, how did your journey to wellness begin? When did it start and how did it develop?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. I'm so happy to be here. So my journey to wellness started growing up. I just ate the standard American diet, just fast food, TV dinners, lots of candy. And I just never really felt like my brain was at full capacity. I just kind of felt like I wasn't living my up to my full potential. And it wasn't until my mid 20s, about 25, did I really just start to feel the true effects of it. And I started just feeling a lot of anxiety, brain fog, which I had experienced before, but it finally just kind of clicked. And I said, this is not normal. So I started diving into wellness and I just kind of went down this path and became just so passionate about it. Like nothing would light me up more. I would just be researching all day, every day, everything I could, all the books, everything. And I just started eating healthier and I noticed a huge shift in how I felt. It was a dramatic shift in how I felt. It was like for the first time, my brain was awake and I just felt happier. I was able to study easier and I just felt so good. And then the second half shift 2 years later when I got into natural beauty. And then that was just like the full circle. I was doing all the lifestyle, but I hadn't really made the full connection of how the beauty products were affecting my health and my mood. So once I did that whole shift, it just was amazing. And I was like, well, there's other people who could feel better with this, knowledge. And I really wanted to share it with them. So I went back to school, became a nutritionist. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. And so I fused the two together to teach women about whole body health with what we eat, and the products that we use are equally important. And that's why we've connected, is just because you make amazing USDA organic certified products, which I think is just going above the bar that most people do. And I just felt that in my heart. I was like, this woman really cares about people and their health. And I'm so happy we're connected.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you to say. Oh, yeah, it really means a lot to me to offer my customers something that they can fully trust their skin and life with. Ultimately, I feel like there's nothing that compares to the plants that were designed by, whoever you want to say, may that be God for you, maybe that be a spirit or something else, but ultimately, I feel like the plants are just so incredible, so many amazing properties, and just I feel like especially, not all plants are created equal either, because there's the organic ones and the non-organic ones, and we can dive into that later if we choose to. But thank you so much for that comment.
Yeah. And what about you? How did you get started in wellness? Was it the beauty first or the health first?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say, well, so when I moved to United States from my home country of Moldova, which is in Eastern Europe, so it's by Romania and Ukraine, and so of course in Moldova I had a completely different diet than what I had in the United States. So actually, I have to share this with you because it's an interesting, dichotomy. But the first year that my mom and I moved to United States, I literally gained like 35 or 40 pounds within 1 year. And that was 100% related to portion size and the change of diet. And, so I was, this skinnier 115-pound gal, and then all of a sudden I'm like, a lot bigger. And it's like that was one thing that happened. But ultimately my journey didn't really start until it would have been about 10 years ago now. And I was married to my husband, Brian. And at the time, Brian was a radiation therapist. So he treated cancer patients with radiation. And I came across this study that talked about aluminum, which is a common active ingredient in all conventional deodorant, and how that study showed that aluminum was found in the tissue of breast cancer patients. So for me, it was like a light bulb moment that, having that conversation with Brian and saying, well, wait a minute, are you telling me that something we put on our skin could potentially harmfully affect our health? And lo and behold, yes, it can. And so after that conversation, Jessica, literally what I've done is I started reading all of my ingredients in my skincare and body care and makeup. And between all the X's and Z's and Y's, I could not pronounce any of those ingredients. And I knew right there and then that what I was applying on my face and my body every single day was not good. It was all synthetic. It was all possibly cancer causing, estrogen, hormone disrupting and things of that nature. So yeah, that's kind of how I got started on my journey.
That's a really nice, kind of journey. It just started one way, and then, your husband kind of helped you kind of open your eyes to the whole thing. And I bet that was just a huge shift for you, and just learning the ingredients and everything.
Yeah.
None of us are ever taught that at all. It's just like we think what's on the shelf is safe for us. And then we have this like aha moment, like, wow, what am I really putting on my skin and how is it affecting my health?
Absolutely. And it's also fascinating how different the standards are between different countries across the world. So like European Union has banned over 1,000 different ingredients in their cosmetics and skincare, where in United States, the FDA has only banned 10 ingredients. So there's this huge drastic contrast where, we're allowing so many more things in our skincare in the United States compared to European Union. So it's it just goes to say, I think it shows a bigger picture where I feel like our interests are not being protected as consumers here, as well as the interests of maybe the folks in European Union.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So basically for me then, after, that initial conversation with Brian, I ended up tossing all of my makeup. I was one of those people that I
That's
just
like,
got rid of everything, which I do not recommend to anyone. I tell people just do it gradually, give yourself grace, eliminate perfume if possible. That's like one of the worst things out there. But yeah, I ended up throwing quite a few things away. And then I ended up I wanted to find organic certified makeup. So I typed that in and I could not find it anywhere. And there's a reason for it. It's pretty hard to do organic certified makeup because in order to do that, you have to have a product that contains at least 95% plant based ingredients. And it's very hard to accomplish that with different colors, like we gals like in our makeup. So long story short, I ended up creating the loose face powder recipe. I, did a lot of errors and trial and errors, and I shared it with friends and family finally after I thought it was a good recipe. And everybody loved it. And they're like, Olga, you have to do something about it. And at the time, I was going to grad school, and I was like, I don't know what, it's not a good time. Um, but long story short, we launched the company in 2016. So with the powder and the body whips, those were the two founding products.
and you just, I say it somewhat recently did a little bit of rebranding. When I first found your brand about I say it's almost 4 years ago, I started using your face and eyeshadows, and I had the lip tints, and it was more of like a really cute blue, and now it's kind of gone towards the black packaging, which I think are both equally beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. It's always, evolving. It's a never changing process. We always try to see what resonates best with our customers. Um, Question for you though. How has, uncovering this wellness journey, how has that impacted your life? Can you share about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I was working in the hair salons and I had already switched over to my healthy lifestyle, but I hadn't made the connection between beauty products yet. So here I am, eating healthy, have a shower filter, using non-toxic cookware. And I think maybe I just didn't want to really about it. And I'm applying, lightener, chemical bleach, and all these products on my clients. And my hair was super blonde at the time. And my brother said, I love that you eat organic and everything, but have you ever thought about what you're putting on your skin, in your hair, that cannot be good for you? And I really had to take a step back and think about it. And I was like, he's probably right. So I started researching it and just went down this huge rabbit hole. Took me a while because I don't like to just jump on things. And then I finally just started doing my own research, like extensively, and found out like, hey, this is not healthy. And like you, I literally threw out everything that I had in one day. And then the next morning I realized I had to go somewhere. And I went to the trash and dug it all up. Like, I have to have some makeup. So I just dug it all up and I was like, all right, slowly, one by one, and Whole Foods. So even when I wasn't into the natural beauty as much, tried their skincare and my skin would get super irritated. So it probably was just the wrong products. I would use some of their natural makeup. So I was using it, but it wasn't really like something I did like consistently all the time. And growing up, I made all my own skincare and hair mask as a child, and like up until my teens, until I got to be like maybe 13. And then I got into the whole beauty world, started using CoverGirl and Maybelline. Sure. And now I've just gone full circle. I've gotten back to like my roots of what I used to do, which was just natural products that I used at home and I made myself. And so I left the salon because I realized that I can no longer knowingly apply harmful chemicals to my clients, and it wasn't good for my health. They're using formaldehyde hair straighteners, and it was just super toxic. So I went back to school, became a nutritionist, and now I've just kind of fused my cosmetology license and nutrition certification together, and it really has changed my life. I just feel so much more vibrant and healthy, and now I teach other women how to do the same. And, there's just like this little missing piece where in nutrition school, they don't teach you anything about toxins whatsoever. It's just straight food and health issues, diet, meal plans. There was no discussion at all of toxins and how they affect your health. They're teaching you how to cook, but they don't tell you to use non-toxic cookware. And it was just like, wow, this is something that needs to be talked about in nutrition school. You're teaching people wellness. So I would go to nutrition conventions and I'd be talking about, when I graduate, I'm going to be doing this with natural beauty, non-toxic products. And people would laugh at me because it just wasn't something that was talked about. Like, why are you talking about beauty? We're at a nutrition conference. But in my mind, I'm like, this is so important. So I kind of just stopped going along with that crowd and have to do what's best for me. Like, I tried so hard to fit into this like nutritionist world and realized that at that time, there just wasn't a place for talk about beauty products. And so I was like, I'm going to go, instead of going left, I'm going to go right. I'm just going to pave my own path, and I'm going to do what I know is right for me and the women that I want to help. And so I just made it my mission to teach women about non-toxic beauty products and how they affect your health, and eating well is just all one big thing for whole body health. I truly don't believe that you can just eat healthy and work out. If you're using toxic products and you have health issues, you're not going to get better. You have, estrogen mimicking ingredients that are going to affect your health. Like, there's so many pregnant and they don't really think about what they're putting on their skin and how that's affecting their health. So, it's changed my life. Like, every day I wake up and I'm like, who can I help? How can I tell them like this word, the mission, the word needs to be out there.
Oh, amen to that. That's just so incredible. You couldn't have said it any better, because I completely agree with you. At the end of the day, it's a all encompassing approach. It's not just doing one thing or the other. It's doing a little bit of everything. It really is. It is exercising, it is eating well, it is applying good beauty products on, and being conscious of the items you utilize on daily basis. Just fascinating. So tell me, I saw in one of your posts on, I want to say on Instagram, that's where I follow you, that you are planning to write a book, or you are looking to do that. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, so I wrote my book. It's a holistic health and beauty book. It's teaching women basically everything I teach online. It's, just composed into one book. And And it's just to teach women how to switch to a holistic lifestyle as far as eating well, natural beauty, making your own products, and just living a healthier life and minimizing your toxin exposure. And, it's been in the works for quite a while, and life has just taken me so many twists and turns, and I've just been super busy. So it kind of gets put off on the back burner, but it's finally like the balls are really rolling right now, and I have some really exciting things coming up. So it's a very long journey. I feel like I've been talking about it on every interview I go on. I'm like, I have a book coming out, but it's like, it's such a huge process to write a book, and then to, get the right publisher, get the right editors, get the right literary agents. It's a long process.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to share it with the world. I just wish it could come out yesterday.
Yeah, I completely understand that, because as a normal person that's not writing book, you don't understand the complexity and that it entails, and all the behind the scenes steps that have to be involved in order to accomplish that type of a big I don't know, project or big goal like that. So that's really cool. I'm so excited for you. Well, whenever it comes to fruition, I can't wait to read it, and can't wait to spread the word, and let people know how to find it and purchase it and help your work.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Well, so where are you heading next? What's up ahead for you then?
So I work in television. So I teach about holistic nutrition and natural beauty there, which I really found that I just enjoy so much. And then the book is just we're still working on that. And then I write for different wellness brands. So I'm kind of behind the scenes. I'm always on my computer. I'm a writer, so I'm always writing. So I'm literally always writing all the time. So that's something I do. And then I have my nutrition clients. I want to get some more retreats coming up and lots of lectures. And then I taught women's wellness retreats where I teach them how to make their own skincare. And then we do like meditation and yoga. And I do lectures about eating for health. So we have like one coming up. And then I also am teaching face yoga now, which is really fun. So I started doing that online, where I teach women it's a natural approach instead of using, Botox and all these really harmful things that women don't think about. It's just like, oh, I want to look younger. It's like, here's a natural approach. Like, let's work the muscles in your face. It's like, just like the muscles in our body, we work the muscles in our face, and it can help you to look younger, and you don't have to go towards using harmful chemicals, procedures, injections, and instead. So I found, I got certified in that in January, and I've just been doing that and teaching women that. And it's kind of like a really new, nice thing to add into my services, because a lot of women want to just focus on the products, and I teach them, it's like, do the face yoga, eat the food that I recommend, and you're going to look more beautiful than just applying products all day. So yeah, just going along the path I've been going on, and just continuing with nothing huge and exciting besides my book, really.
Oh, well, it's all exciting. The face yoga is amazing, because I don't think that there's a lot of people out there that are doing it. So I feel like that's such a neat way to, explore a natural um, path to, maintaining a youthful look, without the harmful things involved, that are more common. So that's really awesome. I love that. I'll have to get all of the links associated. Is everything on your website then, as far as your services and everything?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So I'll have to make sure I attach those links to this video so people know how to find you.
The
Very
other thing I'd like to point out, that face yoga is also good for your health. It's not just about looking good. It's like we get so much lymphatic congestion in our face. So it helps to really just drain your lymphatic system, which supports your immune system. So it's all about it's also just such good self-care. I feel so relaxed after I do it every day.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
if there were like 5 tips that you would say are like your top tips to give someone on starting onto this wellness journey, what would you say they are?
I always start with water. That's my number one thing. Like, what's your quality of water? So I get them with a really good, high quality water filter. Then we go with the shower filter, because you absorb so many toxins in the shower. And then we just start with minimizing the processed foods. I'm all about a beauty from within approach, but I also like the topical stuff too. So it's all about like clean water, clean food, healthy stuff. And then we go into the non-toxic beauty products. And yeah, just practicing a lot of self-care too.
Yeah, that's really cool. What are your preferred watering filters for like water?
I use for my drinking and shower, I use Aquasana. That's the brand. I always recommend that people go like on EWG and look at their water report, because you don't want to buy a water filter that filters out stuff that you don't even have in your water. So some people don't have chlorine or fluoride in their water. Most people do, but if you don't, then it's buying a water filter that really filters that out. But I use Aquasana, which is a really good brand.
Oh, very cool. We use the Berkey filter for our
Oh yeah.
water. Yeah, yeah. We've been using that, I want to say, for like at least 10 years now, and have really enjoyed it quite a bit. What's really nice about it is that you don't have to change the filters quite as often. So I want to say we've only changed filters once or twice in the span of the time that we've had it. So
Wow, that's
yeah.
very minimal. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So that's we like that too quite a bit, and that's primarily for our drinking water. We don't have filters on our shower, so you made me think of something new to implement. That's a good idea. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Very
What
cool.
about you? What's upcoming with Olga's Organics or Olga herself?
Oh, thank you. Well, we are always working on you know getting customer feedback and applying that into new products we're going to release and things of that nature. So there are some new products in the pipeline that I'm excited to release here, hopefully by the end of the year. So a couple of like unscented versions of the body oil and the face oil, and then also because some folks are sensitive to essential oils too, and that's understandable. And then also I wanted to create another face toner, like a lavender face toner, but the supplier that we used to buy the hydrosol water from has completely discontinued all the hydrosol waters. So now I'm scrambling there because I can't find another supplier for those some of those raw ingredients.
You
And
can make it yourself.
you know what? That would be amazing, but that's just such an additional, step. But yeah, ideally that would be incredible. Down the road, it would be amazing to have our own little farm plot, where we
Mm.
have source our own, ingredients from our own backyard or our own farm plot. Maybe down the road that could happen. That would be amazing. Um, so yeah, and then whatever product, and oh, and then a cleanser. Customers have been asking for a cleanser, so I have figured out this one recipe that I think will be a really nice one. It's an oil-based recipe, but it will help with quite a few different skin conditions. So I'm excited for that. So hopefully that by the end of the year, I would love to have some of these new products released prior to the Black Friday rush. And then for me, I've been, as I've been working in addition to my business. I've also been working for a nonprofit called Iowa Organic Association. So I'm all about organics, from my personal business standpoint, and then with this nonprofit work. And what has been really fun through this work is meeting these organic farmers that are actually doing the work and that are passionate, and just learning their stories and learning the reasons why they do it has been so inspiring to me too. And just connecting all the dots, kind of like you mentioned, how integrating all your education and putting it all into this one picture that makes good sense. So yeah, it's been really fun to meet these farmers over the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's so important to know where the ingredients are coming from and to connect with them and see the people behind, what's going on. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to, see your new products. I know you came out with perfumes recently, which is exciting. It's so hard to get a good perfume these days. It's like spray chemicals on my skin or smell like patchouli. Like there's no in between. So that's nice you have perfume.
Yeah, we have two different perfumes. One is called Bloom, and it is organic certified, and it has it's a very floral. So I'll admit I'm a very floral oriented person. Okay, so a lot of the scents are very floral, at least the perfumes are. So it's got ylang ylang and sweet orange and a little bit of lemongrass, and it's a really pretty scent. And but unlike conventional perfume that will last on your skin hours upon hours, this will not, because it is 100% essential oils and then a carrier oil, so you'll just want to reapply it throughout the day. And then the second perfume, I couldn't get a certified organic because I couldn't find certified organic rose absolute oil. So because I have Rose Absolute in this perfume, I couldn't get it organic certified. But in essence, it is still a very high quality, or it could be organic, but minus that one ingredient. So, and that one it smells like a beautiful bouquet of roses. It's very, very floral too. And actually both perfumes have in their essential oils that are included in them, they have this natural aphrodisiac in them. So I always tell people, beware, you'll put the perfume on and things can get a little fun afterwards.
I like that.
Yeah,
You're drawing in the person with your scent. Yeah, that's the way it should be with your naturals then.
that's right. Well, for me, like I like to go to the gym a lot. I basically am to the point where it's such a big part of my routine. I go to the gym almost every day. And the days that I miss it, I feel it. I actually feel that energy within me. I'm like, oh, I need to go tomorrow. But what's been amazing is I just witness all of these women spraying all of these things on their bodies. And all I want to say to them is, ladies, you don't realize, but this scent that you're putting on your body, this is what's causing all of your migraines and all of your issues. To me, these days, I feel like, this fragrance, conventional fragrance is like secondhand smoke,
Mhm.
because thankfully smoke is not as prevalent um, as it used to be. But yeah, so now it's fragrance.
I would try to tell women, it's like, we've got to think about, we're not spraying vitamins on our skin, like think about what are you really spraying on your skin? It's, there's nothing healthy in there that's going to make you feel better. It's just a bunch of toxic chemicals.
Well, yeah, I keep telling my customers, if there's one thing that I recommend eliminating from their routine, is anything that includes fragrance or perfume as an ingredient in the list of ingredients. And that's really hard to do because almost anything has fragrance or perfume. And one ingredient on its own, because fragrance is considered a trade secret, uh,
Mhm.
companies are not required to reveal what's in the ingredient list. So actually, one ingredient can contain up to 100 different chemicals in it. So I tell I tell folks, if you can eliminate one thing, that's the thing that you want to try to eliminate first and foremost, just because of the amount of negative ingredients that can be part of that.
I know it's not like you're just eliminating one ingredient. It's like unknowingly, you're probably eliminating hundreds of ingredients just from that term fragrance. So that's a huge one. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a really big one for sure. So I would love to. There has been a lot of requests from folks wanting a more earthy, neutral perfume. So that will be a stretch for me. I'll have to. I'm still, I'll have to figure out a more earthy scent. So I might need help from other people on that one. What are some
I'm all about the floral.
you are about the floral too? Yeah,
Oh yeah, like
yeah,
apple, floral, citrus. I love that like very perky kind of smell.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I'm all about that. A very like romantic and
Mhm.
it's the very like feminine and chic. Yeah, yeah.
And I like that your perfumes don't completely stay on for a long time because I like to do a lot of research and they say that women who always wear heavy perfume covering up like your actual pheromones, so you're going to attract the wrong mate, and I just find that so interesting. Like we're actually like finding our ideal mate because we're like smelling just a bunch of toxic chemicals which are attracting us, not the actual person.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's such a good point. I never thought of it that way. One other thing that I have also been thinking about is, you know, so the food we eat versus the products we put on our skin. And I almost tell I tell folks that I almost think that what we put on our skin might be a little bit even more important simply because there is no filtering agent that helps filter out the products that we put on our skin. Like with the food we eat, we have the liver that helps process some of those toxins, and with the skin, basically, 60 to 70% of everything we put on it gets absorbed into our bloodstream. So like to me, I almost feel like what we put on our skin could be more crucial. Do you agree with that?
Yes and no. Just I feel like the whole 26 seconds, X amount percent gets absorbed into your skin and isn't necessarily always true because there's a difference between like penetration and absorption. And our skin does have Langerhans cells, which actually act as a filtration system to your through your lymphatic system and helps to filter it out. So I don't really believe that everything gets absorbed into your bloodstream, especially immediately. Otherwise, we could just go and pour alcohol on our skin and we'd be drunk. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think it is obviously to me, it's so important, but I don't think that it's true what people say. There's no way to actually measure how fast something can go into your skin and be absorbed like that. Like there's no test that's truly been proven about that at this
Yeah,
point.
and I'm not a big believer in the 26-second thing personally.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that. It's more about the filtering part. And what part of the skin has the filtering agent in it?
Our epidermis, anything that gets applied to the top layer of our skin can then go and it depends on if it gets penetrated or absorbs. A lot of ingredients can actually get absorbed. They can penetrate into your skin, but they won't be absorbed into your bloodstream.
Fully.
But a
Oh,
lot of toxic products have penetration enhancing ingredients, which
oh,
then do get absorbed, which is bad. But
gotcha.
I agree. I think what we put on our skin is finally getting recognized as being, unhealthy. We've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing it for almost 13 years and it's finally getting all this momentum. And it's just so nice to see people are finally waking up to this realization like what we use on our skin it needs to be healthy in order for us to be healthy.
Yeah, I think the biggest realization that people hopefully have now is the fact that the skin is our biggest organ of our body, and what we slaver on our legs and arms and chest and back, it actually is a lot of product, and if you do that day in and day out, that will affect you one way or the other. So.
Oh, that's why I like your products because they go a step above. They're USDA organic certified, which is a really hard certification to get because not everyone can use, from my understanding, it's like agriculturally grown
Mhm.
products. So
Mhm.
it's like practically food based is most of your ingredients.
Yeah, the certification is definitely meant for food items. It wasn't meant with cosmetics in mind or skincare and body care. But yeah, for me, I wanted to do the certification to build customer trust and to really show people that, you know what, I do not want to cut any corners. I want to use the best possible ingredients in my formulas and in my products. And that means buying organic all the time, and in my collection of items, I do have some non-organic items, and that's because of the mica mineral, which is not a plant-based item, so I just can't certify that one organic. And the reason why I use mica is for coloring purposes, because otherwise then I tried to do like beet powder and things of that nature, and they just didn't cut muster, as they say.
I've tried making my own lip gloss. I used bee powder. It was horrible. Bee powder is kind of weird. And then you don't want to use synthetic colors. So I think Mika's probably the best option.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, it looks like we have about 3 minutes left here. It's giving me a warning that we only have 3 minutes left. So, any final questions, or how should we wrap this up?
What are, I'd say, 5 things that you think are probably the best to switch over as far as beauty products first?
Yeah, yeah. So perfume is number one, just because of what we mentioned earlier. And then the other thing would be items that you use on large parts of your skin. So, like lotions and things of that nature. And, and then also deodorant is a big one. But when it comes to deodorant, I give people a forewarning, natural deodorant, your body will have to adjust to it. So the first couple of weeks, it might be tricky. And then it looks like we don't have much time here. Oh.
I'm still here.
Oh, you still okay.
Yeah.
And then deodorant, and then makeup, of course,
Mhm.
face makeup, just because we like to use it on a daily basis, or some women like to use it on daily basis. So those are kind of the top four things, I'd say.
That's good. I like that. I agree with all of them. That's so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, yeah. And then, just switching the routine gradually. Doesn't have to be done overnight.
Yeah, I agree. Find what you're running out of and then just find research during that time and find like a good product that experiment. Not all natural products work the same. So you have to just experiment and try and figure out what works for sure.
Yeah, and then if there are some like local shops that sell some of these products, definitely support small and local, because that matters tremendously. And
Women owned small businesses, handmade like you.
that
Have the passion and the heart behind it. I like supporting women owned businesses to have a heart. You know the people behind it. I like to watch your story online, seeing you work out, and all that.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for being here today with me, Jessica Rose. You are such a light. You are, you're just, incredible. I love following you. Thank you for being one of those women that supports other women
You
genuinely.
too.
Means the world. We need more women like that in our lives and in the world. So you are an amazing example for others.
Much for having me. This is really great connecting. And yeah, I look forward to chatting with you soon.
Sounds good. Have a good day.
You too.